So I've recently been asked to add more of Marc Rudov videos, particularly where he's doing lectures and seminars explaining the female nature and how to deal with women. I found an interesting interview of Marc titled How to Handle Women. It's a radio interview of Marc Rudov and I found it quite interesting and entertaining. Marc Rudov, along with Tom Leykis, are one of the very few men who actually ignored political correctness and said exactly what they wanted to say about women, gynocentrism, and how women really are and what they respond to. So massive thanks to the likes of Marc Rudov and Tom Leykis for keeping it real. Please have a listen for yourself.
Live from the Ford Paradise Studios, it's 107.5 KZL's Murphy in the Morning Show. All right, 9:23 here at 107.5 KZL. Okay, Jared, tell us about this author that you've lined up for us today.
Well, I saw his website online, and it caught my attention when he said, No Nonsense Guide to Women.
No Nonsense Guide to Women.
And I thought, this is perfect for our audience. He's very opinionated. He actually thinks, guys, we don't know what we're doing with women, and that a lot of women are gold diggers and how to avoid gold diggers.
Whoa.
He talks about a whole bunch of stuff, and I thought it'd be perfect for our show. His name is Marc Rudov.
So, in other words, he's going to give advice to me. Now, you warned him that we have to kind of keep it PG-13 here.
Yes.
In fact, I don't even know if I can say the name of his book on the air. But nonetheless, good morning and welcome to the program, Mark. How are you?
I'm fantastic, Jack. How are you?
I'm doing wonderfully today. It's just another great summer day here in North Carolina. Doing what other people only dream about. Listen, last night I opened up your online version of the book. I've never done that before. That was really unusual. Is that a new trend in publishing?
Oh, it's not new anymore. You mean the Under the Clitoral Hood? How to crank her engine without cash, booze, or jumper cables.
Well, we've worked
that
the
is
title in there anyway.
That is the coming trend in publishing.
Well, I if I had one of those tablets where you download the book and read it, but it was not as fun on my laptop at home.
Well, it's true, but you can print it out. And by the way, the name of my first book is The Man's No-Nonsense Guide to Women, How to Succeed in Romance on Planet Earth. And you can see both of them at the nononsenseman.com. But the reason I brought out the second book in ebook format is because it makes it easier to sell around the world without dealing with middlemen. The publishing industry is very frustrating in dealing with wholesalers and publishers and retailers can be a bit trying. So this makes it a lot easier.
All right. Well, let's get back to the book, the meat of the book, as it were. This is a guide for men on how to avoid the pitfalls of women. What are some of the pitfalls that you see out there for a man?
Mm-hmm.
Well, essentially, women are raised to be takers. I mean, when you're taught that a man's going to take you out and entertain you on his nickel, that makes you a taker.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no reason for a man to have to do that. We live in a world where right now 42% more women than men will graduate from college. There's no reason for men to have to take women anywhere.
You compare really you compare it to prostitution, don't you?
Absolutely, it is legal prostitution. When a woman says you'll get more action if you take me more places or buy me more things, that's called prostitution. And now a man doesn't have to go along with that. The reason I wrote my second book is to prove that women are more sexual than men, and men don't have to pay for it at all. Men have only been doing this and continue to do it because they have been taught a lie that men are more sexual than women. It's a total lie. So they think they have to do it.
So the women want it more than the men do.
Absolutely.
I have a question.
Oh, well, I don't think you're allowed to talk, Katie.
Okay.
You must be very frustrated, Katie.
I am very frustrated. What kind of woman actually says the words, you'll get more action if you take me out more?
It's insinuated.
Are you Katie, how many women have you dated?
I don't date any women.
Well, then you wouldn't know.
So shut up.
But I know.
Yeah, shut your woman mouth.
Hey, now, there's two
Woman mouth. I just thought I'd help you out there, Mark. I went ahead and covered that. Shut up.
This is
Katie,
such an unfair battle.
Katie, I have news for you. Your sweet little girlfriends, when they're not with you and they're with men, their personalities change.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think...
So, but you know, I know you don't think, but you don't know because you haven't been out with women.
Right. They go out.
When you've called as many women as I have in my life, been with as many women as I have in my life.
There's the pat on the back.
When you have a lot of male friends, and I have contacts from men all over the world, as far away as New Zealand, and it's the same story everywhere. So what I teach men is to stop playing into that. I call these women merchant marines. That's M-A-U-R-E-E-N-S.
Oh.
A merchant marine is a woman who drops her anchor into your wallet with your consent.
So do you think that every woman on Earth is like that?
I'd say 80%.
80%. That's a fair number, I believe.
80%. No, not every woman. My girlfriend's not like that, or she wouldn't be my girlfriend. But 80% of them are.
Well, I mean, the guy is trained. Let's face it, and I'm going to put a stop to it today at my house. The guys are trained, like Ryan. Are you going on a date? Have you got enough money to pay for dinner? Don't forget to,
Yeah, but what you're talking about is a date is her entertainment. The man is the entertainer, and she's the entertainee. Why?
It's a good question.
There's no excuse for that. And yet a woman wants to run for president. We have a female Secretary of State. We have women who are presidents of major universities like Harvard, MIT, Brown, Princeton.
You got women flying.
CEOs. We have major corporations headed by women. Why do women have to be taken care of like little girls?
Yeah, I can't even tell the difference between divorce court and the people's court.
Yeah, Katie. Explain that. Why do you have to be taken care of like a little girl?
You know, the thing that I'm the most entertained about is you pretending like you're going to go home and put your foot down and put an end to all that. Because you're not, and we all know it.
Definitely. He's probably going to go home and hand wash his wife's underpants in the sink.
Say, here you go.
Well, see, the thing is that as long as men believe, everything comes down to what you believe. Back in 1492, Christopher Columbus discovered that the world is round. Now, from that point forward, anybody who kept acting like the world is flat, well, guess what?
They're idiots.
Moron. So when you realize that women are more sexual than you are, and you still kowtow to them, moron.
You know, it sounds a little bit to me that you're lashing out, you're writing these books in anger because it sounds like you've been taken for a ride one too many times.
You know, everybody, Katie, there isn't a woman on the radio yet who hasn't said that. The thing is that there's an 11th commandment in the United States. Thou shalt never criticize a female. And if you do, you're angry and bitter.
I've never heard that before in my life.
Well, the thing is if you're a silent man, you must be a happy man. So I'm speaking out. Believe me, I've been doing this for 4 years. So I'm speaking out about stuff that guys are afraid to say, but they sure are glad I'm talking about.
Well, let's take a couple of calls here. Let's go to the warm line here. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, darling.
Oh, crap.
Good morning, Michelle.
Mark, it's my wife, Michelle.
Wow.
Hello, Michelle.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Good. Now, what about? I guess if the men, want to be like that, then that's their choice, right? They want, their women to stay home and cook and clean, and so is it the man's fault or the woman's fault?
Is what the man's fault?
Well, if he wants to be the man that has the wife that doesn't work and cooks and cleans and raises the kids.
Well, I don't know what this has to do with sex, but if a man wants a woman to stay at home, she has to agree to it.
Yeah, Michelle, I don't know if you're listening.
The thing he better understand when he has a stay-at-home wife is that she has zero income. So given that women bring 70% of the divorces in this country, when she divorces him, they look at the difference between their incomes, and that's how they assign child support and alimony. So every time a man says, honey, I want you to stay home, I don't want you to lift a finger. Well, guess what? That just means that when she divorces him, he's going to have to pay the maximum amount of child support and alimony.
Michelle, you don't have...
Your book is about, you're saying that your book is mainly about sex.
Well, I have two books. The first one is not mainly about sex. The second one is. But it's the same principle, that sex is what drives all behavior. It doesn't matter whether a man and a woman are in a restaurant or whether there's a debate on the Senate floor. Men in the Senate are afraid to pass laws that will help fathers, for example, have more rights for custody. Why are they afraid? Because they're afraid to go home to their wives at night and say, honey, I just passed new legislation that's going to help fathers get custody of their children.
You did what? Wow, that's really saying that men are just, so you're just saying men are just absolutely
I'm saying that
dumb.
men are wimps. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Michelle, I don't know if you were listening earlier or not, but Jack, when you were talking about, not working and stuff like that, Jack said he was going to put a total stop to that when he got home.
Yeah, he did.
I was talking. I said
to Ryan. It's too late for us.
Yeah, I was going to talk about Ryan training him to be this way with women. That's what I said. Before Ryan goes out on a date, we're like, okay, do you have money to pay for the dinner? And you're in his car. He's paying for the gas. He's paying for the movie or whatever. And
why?
Why?
Now, if you ask her out, you should pay. But
Mark, 1 second. Let me make one more point. And then my son goes up to my daughter just this past weekend, Josh.
Yeah.
And he goes, how come you always have money and I don't? And my daughter wisely turns to him and goes, because I have a boyfriend and you have a girlfriend.
There you go. So this is 2008, and Hillary talks about how women are supposed to be equal to men, but they don't want to be equal. They want to be taken care
I think
of.
that women have come a long way, but I think the percentage is still small. I do believe that men make more still, even in the same position.
They don't make more. You believe that, but you have no proof of that. In fact, it isn't true.
Well, that's what I've been told on the news.
You've been told, but you didn't even investigate it. It's not true.
Not
With
true.
42% more women than men are graduating from college, you have a lot of blue-collar guys now. The thing is that you're paid exactly what you're worth.
Now, if your husband gets old and doesn't give you as much sex, how do you get more sex out of him?
You find a new boyfriend. You just get a boyfriend
on vacation.
AOL and Woman's Day magazine last year did a study, a poll of 3,000 married women. 80% of them admitted to being unhappily married. Okay, my friend Susan Shapiro-Barash did a book about women cheating. She interviewed 500 women from all over the country. 60% of them admitted cheating on their husbands.
Wow.
In New Hampshire, they did a study.
What's the percentage of men?
Oh, I think it's about the same.
Uh-huh.
But we've never been told that before. We've always been told that women are innocent, sugar and spice and everything nice. But the thing is that women bring 70% of the divorce.
I think they used to be until the men, and they're just trying to catch up with the men, I think is what it is nowadays.
Well, what happened was when women were at home and they didn't work, they had no exposure to other people. But now that they're out working, they're behaving the same way as the men are. In my first book, The Man's No-Nonsense Guide to Women, what I basically say is men and women are the same.
So, I mean, basically what this book is...
that we're from Venus and Mars and we're so different. No, we're not.
So basically what your book is saying is, sex your woman as much as you possibly can to keep them honest.
Well, in my second book, what I say is that women are more sexual than men. Women are more sexual than men, and there's no reason to kowtow for it. There's no reason to pay for it. There's no reason to plot and scheme. Why do you think women buy all those vibrators? Do you know how many of your male friends have vibrators?
Male friends? Well, I would hope zero.
I'd be worried.
Only Jared's the only one we know of, but that's besides the point.
But the thing is, why do you think women have vibrators? Because they can't get enough orgasms. That's why.
Mm-hmm. A good point.
So if you're sitting there thinking, well, I have to pay for it, I guess, you're totally wrong. If the first thing you whip out when you meet a pretty girl is your credit card, you lose.
Jack, go ahead. Jack, do you ever barter for sexual favors with Michelle?
Do I barter? No.
Like you say,
No, because the older I get, the less equipped to keep up with it I am.
So she never says, if you do this, I'll do this?
She barters with me.
Really?
Yeah.
See? Well, you just proved my point, didn't you?
Now, when I was younger, yes, I used to.
By the way, it's never been different than that. Maybe she's just more vocal now. But don't forget, women are taught to downplay their sexuality.
Oh, she's very vocal, trust me.
Yeah, but and women in general in our society, in our culture, are taught to downplay it. It used to be that if a woman admitted she even had any sexual cravings, she was deemed a slut.
Mm-hmm.
So women were taught, just keep your mouth shut, don't talk about it. Pretend you don't really enjoy it. In fact, I know women who have told me that when they go wild with men get turned off.
Really?
Because men are intimidated.
Oh, that's silly.
Wow.
But it's the fact.
They are.
All right, again, the book is...
I have two books. The Man's No-Nonsense Guide to Women, How to Succeed in Romance on Planet Earth. And the second one is called Under the Clitoral Hood, How to Crank Her Engine Without Cash, Booze, or Jumper Cables, which means you don't have to spend money on her, and you don't have to get her drunk.
All right.
And my website is thenononsenseman.com.
And that's where you can order the book, The No Nonsense.
You can get both books there. The first one is available on Amazon also. But I also have written 86 articles. I'm on Fox News every week. I also do no-nonsense coaching, and I have a fee-based newsletter, and you can join my mailing list for free. There's lots of good stuff going on there.
All right, Mark. Very interesting. Thanks for being with
me. Has he been married before? And
yes, I have.
How many times?
I've been married twice.
I just wanted to know.
All right, Mark. Great talking to you. Thank you very much for spending some time with us. We appreciate it.
Hey,
It's been my pleasure.
All right.